Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wednesday night. It is Game of Thrones reread.
We're not live.
Yeah, I got like 8 seconds in, brother. We're live. You do that to me off. Yeah. He gets me every time, though.
It just said scheduled.
No.
Yeah.
And then,
are you delayed maybe a little bit? Maybe because I'm like 24 seconds in. Okay, let's try that one more time. And we're live. Right?
The fault is yours, Davos.
He's the king in the north. All right, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday night, a reread of Game of Thrones. We are doing chapter 49 through 51, which is Ned 14, Arya 5, Sansa 5, other known as Biatch. And my name is Scott, and this is Sporking News Podcast. And with me tonight is becoming our normal panel. We have Miss Martin Muses. How are you?
I am doing well. How are you, sir?
I'm stoked to be reading some action-packed, stuff. We're all King's Landing.
There's nothing normal about these people, Davos.
No, there is nothing normal. There is nothing normal. We're gonna read some of the worst people. It's gonna be great. And below me, Jayne. How are you, Jayne Theory?
Great. How are you doing today?
Again, excited. And
then these are some good chapters.
Yes, good chapters. And somebody who hasn't been here for a bit, the only true king in Westeros, Stig Kenobi.
First of my name, Lord of Dragonstone, Master of Ships, King of Westeros, Lord of Stormsand, King of the Andals, the Rhoynar, and the First Man, Lord of the Seven Kingdom, Protector of the Realm. All who deny that are my foes. Let no man claim ignorance as a defense. They'll bend the knee or I'll destroy them. Isn't that right, Davos?
He cut my fingers off, but I deserved it.
That's twice I warned you.
You warned me more than twice.
You had to eat a cat because you were too slow with the onions.
Holy God.
Too slow.
Hey, starting to eat their boots, Oh man, those poor bastards at Storm's End.
What is cutting people's limbs off? This is just so crazy to me.
Also, Christy called me a boomer in the chat. Well, Christy, you're a strumpet.
I don't know what that means.
Strumpet.
I don't know what it means, but I'm guessing from Miss Martin Muse's reaction, it's not good. Let's say hello to the people in the chat. We got Tina, one of my biggest supporters. Tina has been watching every single one of my videos over again and commenting to help me out with my watch time. So thank you, Tina. According to Christy, is not one of my biggest supporters. No, she is. She's watched 15 hours. Like in the last day, Christy has watched 15 hours. So I seriously do. I have the best fans. I don't call them fans. I don't know what should you, because I don't feel like I have fans, but I have people that support me. But I want a better word than people that support me.
You had sporkers, huh?
Yeah, they're sporkers or OSs, original sporks. I like that one. But sporkers are good.
I only have subjects.
Right.
That's perfect.
You do.
Oh, it's great. Toxic Man Flu, watch hours. Yes, sir. Thank you. Hashtag Cuddle Casino. Hashtag Shirtless Steven. And Saturday night, I'll tell you guys a little bit later.
Yeah, Shirtless Steven. It doesn't have anything to do with him not having toilet paper after the coffee break, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
McKinney 90. Good evening or afternoon, sir. I hope you're excited to be here. One of the best mods in the game and a damn good artist. His Wonder Woman rendition from that DC horror that we saw was it was gorgeous.
Oh, that was him.
Yeah, he did. Well, there was one he did. It was a pencil sketch. I don't know if you saw that one. It's gorgeous. Yeah, he did a really.
I saw one of them. Yeah, great work.
Yeah,
talented
really.
Fellow.
I loved it. It was gorgeous. Brutal Morning Wood. Yes, you did make it tonight. Glad to see you here. Let's see who else we got. Toxic. We got the same crew. Smooth Jam California. Hello,
Mhm.
gang. And we got the
Mhm.
great fat Steven Seagal. Beat up Ryan Johnson. Thank you for being here, sir. Greatest. Oh, the new Avatar. I haven't seen that one. That's fantastic.
The asparagus of
Ooh.
winter.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Another monster. Sup, y'all? What? Oh, yeah, he lives in the States. I keep thinking he's from Sweden, but he's from the
Right.
States. I'm like,
Oh,
where the
so
hell?
he's. I thought he was living in Sweden.
No, he's a fake Swede.
Hmm.
Yeah, I said it. I said it.
Ooh.
Is it the worst
That,
kind of Swede?
That's
that,
the worst type of Swede.
that explains the lack of stench whenever he's brought on board.
Ah,
Oh. Keck 44 always keeping an eye on us, so we gotta love that. And
Two
I
eyes,
swear
often as he can spare them.
yes. And a Dega Outlaw. Again, I say it every time I see a Dega or 14 Barber, is that they have one of the best live streams. Please subscribe to his channel so you guys can keep up to date on their very it's like peculiar stuff, aliens, different dimensions, wormhole, like they talk about everything.
Anal probing, isn't it?
Anal probing. You know what the crazy thing is? Anal probing comes up in every single episode. It's so weird. It's so weird.
Deep.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
oh shit. It is that deep. And
You're like, could
no.
you plug your channel, please? And I'm like, no, I'm already stuffed.
oh. And McKinney, this is your the Jedi Master, as you're his Padawan. Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective.
Mhm.
Definitely check out Tommy's channel. He does great stuff on toys and old movies from our childhood. So that looks like everyone. I got your anal probe right here, Stig.
Oh, thank you, darling.
I am never gonna. If they ever check I hope they don't check the live streams, because I'm never getting monetized if they do, because I don't care what people say. That looks like a good one right there. Mel's hole.
What?
I don't even know. I don't know. I love it though.
He's talking about the red woman.
Yes. It's burning, I guess. And Stig, what do you usually call me?
She's typing this because he wants me to say it.
Yes.
Okay? I'm
She
going to
wants you
say
to
it.
Yes, say it.
Carol Baskin swamp ass bitch.
It's the accent. He can get away with it.
Mhm.
All right. So we're going to start off in a minute or two. I first want to talk about Saturday night with Steven on vacation. Rogue Entertainment will be on my channel. So I don't think I'll be doing a news dump right after that, because I'm also on Mary Mayhem's shenanigans that night. So if you are usually like one of my 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time news dumpers, check us out at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Rogue Entertainment. It should be a good one. There's enough crap going around in the world that we could talk about. So please check that out. Also, I'm watching. Okay. I don't know if you guys have heard of this show. It is one of the worst guilty pleasure shows I've been watching. I've been shoving it down. It is a Turkish show. It is dubbed terribly. Overacting. The show goes from people hating each other within the next episode and mad in love. I mean, it's just like it's ridiculous. It's called The Protector on Netflix, and it is so much better than the last 2 seasons of Game of Thrones.
Really?
The Protector.
Yeah.
I think I may have seen part of the first
telling you.
episode. I just couldn't get through it.
Oh God, it's horrifically good. Horrifically good.
Horrifically.
It's so bad.
Horrifically something.
So bad
is.
it's good.
It's so bad I can't stop watching it. I love it. Like you could tell the actors have like, emotion, but I don't understand Turkish, and it's always dubbed, and like the dubbing just doesn't match up with like the emotion that person has. Like but it's beautiful people, and it's about a guy who is the protector of Istanbul fighting immortals, and I can't stop. So yeah, that's my guilty pleasure of the week. Anybody have a guilty pleasure? Any of
Do
you
you
guys?
watch the like telenovelas? Like
No.
No,
I know what you're talking
similar
about.
kind of craziness.
Like KRS.
I actually watched something good on Netflix though this week.
What is it?
War for Cybertron.
War for
It's
Cyber.
six
I have it
episodes.
downloaded.
6 episodes Transformers thing. It was awesome.
Oh yeah, that's really good.
I have
Yeah.
it downloaded. I was gonna watch that actually tomorrow. You're like the fifth person that told me it's great. So I am definitely gonna be watching that. I would like to know what Tommy thinks of it. I don't know if he put out anything yet.
I think Tommy really liked it.
Oh, good.
Tell us in the chat, Tommy.
Yeah,
what you felt.
please. Steven taking a break from enemas or for enemas? I would go with the latter. Yeah, for.
Eventually,
Yeah.
the enemas will break him.
Yeah.
Oh
Sounds
no!
about right.
Gosh, darn
Yeah.
it!
Too many of those is not a good time. I'll just say that.
You'll get yourself
Um,
dehydrated.
Yeah.
He's searching for the best
Definitely.
beans, right?
Yeah. The Time Prophet. What's up, buddy? I don't have a guilty pleasure about anything. I either like it or not. And if I like it, it isn't guilty. No, this is guilty, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I understand that. Like,
Yeah.
I like the originals. I like corny vampire shows.
Oh,
This-
this
Twilight. That's my
Hey,
guilty pleasure.
Twilight! Are you a Twilight fan?
Yes.
Who, me? No.
Yes.
Well, I liked the first movie, not for what it was until they started to sparkle. I was like, I'm done with this. I couldn't.
Oh.
I love
I'm
the
sorry.
sparkles.
No, it's
No.
okay. It's a guilty pleasure. Well, I got the latest Midnight Sun from Edward's point of view. She finally
Yeah. Oh.
released it after 10 years.
She released it?
Yes, I got it. I got it in my hand.
We'll get great.
Girl.
I'm gonna
Oh
get
my
that.
God.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I won't be buying that one. That's like one of those movies where I've watched it a few times, like it's on TBS and I'll watch it. The last one in that film series was decent.
Breaking Dawn.
Yeah, but like again, you're watching a show where I don't know if it comes out differently in the books, but Kristen Stewart could not make me ever believe she was in love with the wolf.
She can never make me believe anything.
Yeah, she's
not very good actress.
Not
No.
very
I feel
good.
bad too, because she was okay as Joan Jett in The Runaways,
Mhm.
but like I think she's naturally like that. Maybe I don't know.
She has same face syndrome.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Like this is all she does through the whole series of what were you just talking about? The
Twilight.
Twilight.
Edward,
She's like,
Edward, I love you.
She just breathes
Edward.
the entire time.
Yeah.
ah! That's all I saw.
That's
That's
it.
all I saw.
Okay.
That's all.
But you know what? God bless them. They made a movie. I never got to. So yeah,
It made
for
more
them.
money than
enjoyed it.
I'll ever will.
Yeah. I liked it.
My guilty pleasure is 9 anime and auto playing full dub series in the background. Toxic Man Flu says, "Oh Jesus, the screaming." So,
Sorry.
Hail K-Log, what's up, brother? Let's see. Everybody's just talking to each other, so we will move on. Chris Stewart was a plank of wood before Mickey Spock was a plank of wood.
Oh no.
The truth. I feel for the kid. Oh shit, dropping stuff. All right, so we're gonna start with the summary of chapter 49, which is Ned. So let me just do this. And if my mic starts,
sad chapter.
I know it angers me too. Just tell me if it happens.
Ned
please.
is dumber than he.
He's a
Oh.
moron.
Oh.
He's a moron. Let it begin. Ned wakes to the thunder of Lannister guardsmen drilling in the yard and curses Cersei for not fleeing despite his warnings. At breakfast, Arya is given permission for a short lesson with Syrio Farrell as long as she is ready to leave by midday. Sansa, who is very despondent, asks again to see Prince Joffrey before she leaves. Septa Mordain offers to escort Sansa, but Ned insists it's not wise. Sansa complains it is not fair and runs weeping from the solar. Septa Mordain rises to follow, but Ned stops her, declaring that he will try to explain when they return to Winterfell. An hour later, Grandmaster Pycelles arrives with news that King Robert is dead. Although he has been expecting the news, Ned is surprised by the emptiness it leaves inside him, as if part of him is dead as well. Suppressing his grief, Ned orders Pycelle to convene the small council in the Tower of the Hand, not trusting the security of the council chamber. The Grand Master objects that they can wait a day, but Ned insists. Sir Barristan Selmy arrives first and asks permission to attend King Joffrey instead, but Ned refuses. When Littlefinger arrives wearing the same clothes as the previous day, he declares that the task Ned set him is done. Varys arrives next with news that Lord Renly has left the city along with Sir Loras Tyrell, and 50 retainers. Slipping out a postern gate an hour before dawn and riding south for Storm's End or Highgarden. Ned is discomforted by the news since he had remained hopeful of Renly's support. Ned entrusts Sir Barristan to read the writ naming him Protector of the Realm until the heir comes of age. Ned thinks to himself that the true heir is already of age, but says nothing. He does not trust Varys or Pycelle's, and Sir Barristan is honor bound to protect the boy he thinks is his rightful king. The need for decency bothers him, but Ned knows he must keep Cersei's secret until he is firmly established as regent. There will be plenty of time to deal with the succession when his daughters are safe and Stannis has arrived with his forces. Ned asks the council to proclaim him Protector of the Realm as Robert wished. Before anyone can reply, the meeting is interrupted by Fat Tom and the royal steward with news that the king demands the small council immediate presence in the throne room. Ned is unsurprised that Cersei would strike quickly and orders Tom to assemble an escort. Escorted by 8 men at arms and supported by Littlefinger, Ned makes his way across the yard, reassured by the number of Stark guardsmen on the walls. Inside the throne room, Joffrey sits on the Iron Throne with Cersei and his siblings below, guarded by Sandor Clegane and all the King's Guard except Jaime Lannister and Sir Barristan, who has just arrived with Ned. Behind the throne stand 20 Lannister guardsmen armed with swords, and along the walls are 100 gold cloaks armed with spears, enough to outnumber the Lannisters 5-1. At the sight of the gold cloaks, Ned is encouraged that Littlefinger has kept his promise. Joffrey stands and commands that the council makes arrangements for his coronation, which he wishes held within the fortnight. The young king then declares that today he will accept oaths of fealty from his loyal counselors. Ned has Varys deliver Robert's will to Cersei. The queen glances at the words, then tears it up, questioning if Ned meant a piece of paper to be his shield. The honorable Sir Barristan exclaims those were the king's words, but Cersei dismissively declares that they have a new king now. Then Cersei advised Ned that if he bends the knee and swears fealty, Joffrey, he will be allowed to retire peacefully to Winterfell. Instead, bound by his armor, Ned declares Joffrey has no right and Stannis is true. Joffrey bursts down in anger and Cersei orders Sir Barristan to seize Ned as a traitor. The old knight hesitated and quickly surrounded by Ned's guardsmen. At Cersei's command, the Hound and Lannister's guardsmen draw their swords to aid the arrest. Ned responds by ordering Janos Slynt to have his gold cloaks take the queen and her children into custody. As Ned is stating he wants no bloodshed, a gold cloak shoves a spear through Tomard's back. A brief fight ensues, quickly killing all of Ned's guardsmen, and Ned's men die around him. Littlefinger slides Ned's dagger from its sheath, holds it to his throat, and tells Ned, I did warn you not to trust me. What a douche. All right, let's discuss.
Jesus.
Damn you, Ned.
Yeah, let it soak in for a second. Whew. All right. Jane, where are you going with this?
First of all, had he just listened to Renly, none of this would have happened.
Yeah.
And he didn't. So Renly was like, you know what? Fine. Cool. I'm going to let you have it. You can orchestrate your plan, this honorable plan of doing everything the right way. I'm going to take my people and we're going to leave because there's going to be chaos.
And he don't
People
want
are
to
going
die.
to die. Exactly. He and his men are not going to die because of Ned's stupid plan.
Right.
And he doesn't even see it. He doesn't even see it.
Well, that's the worst part too. But don't forget, different from the show, Renly never states he should be king.
Right.
Okay, so let's remember that. Go
Well,
on.
Yeah.
Sorry.
to be fair though, Sir Loras tells Renly that Renly should be king on the show.
On the show. But
But at this
no,
point, he wanted him to be, I forget what they call it. Not the hand,
Lord Protector.
the Lord Protector. That
Right.
was the plan, right?
Yep.
And all Renly's and his forces were going to do was help secure the Joffrey
Mhm.
and have their forces in place to ensure that really Robert's will was enforced. I mean, that's all that was
Right.
really going to happen. So why
Right.
not listen to him? Why not allow him to do that? Because you
Yeah.
thought you
No,
had it
I'm
all
with
under
you.
control. And and it's so sad too when you read it. You can tell that Ned is seeing things fall apart slowly. When he's told that Renly's forces have left, he actually comments on the fact that he wanted them there for support,
Right.
and now they're not. So at that point, you have to wonder, why is he even going forward still? If Renly left, that would have been a perfect time for you to leave.
Yeah. I agree with that. And okay, Teresa, what do you think?
Well, yeah, everything about it was so wrong. We even felt it in the last chapter, as we said last week. And the way he's like, wow, why is Cersei just sitting there, like, not doing anything? Why isn't she running away? It's like, because you dumbass, she's got a plan, and you're walking into this trap.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just Renly that told him, it was also Littlefinger that told him.
Right.
Everyone was telling him what to do. It's almost like they wanted him to.
No one wanted him to die, right?
Yeah. And they wanted, and I don't think they even wanted, they don't want Joffrey, the little freak, to be the king any more than anyone else. They're sitting there like a paint by numbers. Here you go, child. And it's also horrendously tragic because he's getting his men killed.
Yeah.
I was really sad, as they were describing them all getting killed, and I'm just like, this is just terrible. And then that was really a neat little moment with Littlefinger. I told you not to trust me.
Right. And why did he trust him? Why? Cat.
Oh.
All because of his wife. And Littlefinger played it perfectly.
And the entire time he's like, oh, I want peace. I don't want anyone to get hurt. I don't want any violence. And next thing you know, like, all of his people are being killed. Like,
right.
Around him, just falling.
The Time Prophet, once again, that was Cat who told him to go there. Ned wanted to say no. Cat told him to go to King's Landing. Mm-hmm. What do you think about it, Stig?
Well, it's basically all of Ned's mistakes coming to fruition in one chapter.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's been foreshadowed enough for sure. Renly, though, he offers Ned some advice, and I'm not sure if am I allowed to say one spoiler?
How far is it?
A little bit into book 2.
Type it and then I'll let you know. Because if it goes with it, it goes with it.
Yeah, it's because it's relevant.
Yeah. Well, one thing I'll say is I want to back up first. So one thing, he's doing things wrong from the beginning of this chapter, allowing Sansa to go see Joffrey. Okay.
Put the thing in the chat.
Yeah, no, I would leave it. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm writing that down to remind you of that when that comes up. Because it's that's perfect, dude. You're absolutely right. So Sansa's, and I really this Sansa chapter angers me every time I read it.
She's so stupid.
She angers me in all this book, but I'm trying to remember she's 11 years old right now. You were just told you're gonna be the queen by your parents, set you up with his dad's best friend, and now you're being told you have to go home with no explanation. So it is Ned's fault right here that she runs out of the room to go see Joffrey. It is Ned's fault. A lot of this happens to him. And for him not to have Septim Ordain go with her, like Septim Ordain protects Sansa more than anybody else in this book.
Yeah.
She loves that girl. She thinks she's like the perfect lady. She would have caught her from, spilling her father's secrets. And we'll see that a little later on. But it's his downfall for thinking that nothing's going to happen, like you guys are saying.
Well, he thought he had it all under control.
What a dimwit.
Ugh.
So then, there's a couple other little things I wrote down. Robert dies. Renly's gone, right? Littlefinger, when he calls the people back together, or the council together, I love how Grand Maester's like, we can wait a day. He's like, get him now.
But he brings them all back to his
right.
Part of the council, right? So
right.
all this is sort of in secret.
Exactly. You're not seeing what everything is going on.
Right.
If he saw I still think he would have made the same mistakes. But when Littlefinger comes in, a guy who dresses impeccably, always wearing like fresh new clothes, very done, always his look to him is very important about his status, comes in the same clothes. You're trying to tell me that he wasn't bouncing around to 30 different places, Ned, and not just going to Janos Slint to pay him off.
Exactly.
Like, that shouldn't have been a sign. What else did you guys see? Because I got a couple other things too. Something I found, I've always thought about it, but this is the chapter that makes me think about it. He's no longer, it's not Joffrey Baratheon. It's Joffrey Lannister, or Baratheon Lannister. Like, he has both colors, not just his father's colors.
Exactly.
So right there, again, I would say, if I was Ned, they're making a statement that the Lannisters are running this city.
But that's something he should have caught on to earlier anyway, when you see all of these Lannister men running around the city. They're the ones essentially in charge.
Right.
Well, to be fair, though, he's probably still a bit out of it from the, healing period.
But he was attacked by Lannisters. He saw them before he was attacked by them.
And they do talk about him limping in, like he's limping into the throne room,
Right.
He just, why pick this time? Why not listen to Renly? Why not leave, get your army prepared, and do what you have to do if Stannis decides to attack the city? Go home, take the advice from Cersei, bend the knee, and just get the hell out of Dodge.
Get your daughter safe, for crying out loud.
What's left? What's left for you there? Robert is dead.
Yeah, half your guard is dead.
Half your guard is dead. You've already been attacked.
Mm-hmm.
Your family, your life has been threatened. Arya told you that already.
Right.
So why not just tell them whatever they need to hear. Get your family and get out.
Right. Let's see. Another thing I noticed, and I think I looked back at some of the history. I thought, everyone calls her Cersei Lannister. But if you look back at, it's like the king and the crown prince's wives keep their last names. And you don't notice it because most of them are Targaryens marrying Targaryens. But look at, it's not Elia Martell, or, Targaryens, Elia Martell. I never noticed.
Catelyn Tully too.
Well, she's called Catelyn Stark, but it's only in the king's line. Like it's the king, and then I think just the crown prince. It might be other members of the royal family, but it seems like when somebody marries into that family, they keep. Because I always wondered, why did she keep her last name Cersei Lannister, and why was that allowed? And then I realized, they always called her Elia Martell, but she was married to a Targaryen.
It may be for political reasons, right? Because those marriages are political, so you want to make sure everyone knows who is aligned.
Exactly. That's exactly what I thought. You're marrying into the royal family. You want to know that your name is a part of that.
Right.
So I just found that kind of neat. All of Robert's tapestries, right? They were already gone, I believe, in this chapter, right? She tore them down. Has that happened yet? I might
No,
be
I don't
confused.
think so.
Not
I
yet,
can't
right?
remember, but I know that Joffrey was wearing the cloak that was half Baratheon and half Lannister.
Exactly. That's what I
Makes
mean.
no
Like, and he renames himself. He's Joffrey Baratheon Lannister.
Oh, I
He's
didn't
no
know.
longer. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's in there. I might be misremembering that, but I'm pretty sure everything is now half Baratheon, half Lannister. I thought that was kind of interesting. Also, if I was Ned and Cersei's scared, why would she pack it full of an audience?
Right.
Mhm.
It seemed like right, Teresa, anybody who was anybody would have been there to watch this.
Yep.
And I don't know. Barristan Selmy again fails his king. You know, she rips the will up right in front of him. This boy isn't the king yet. Like, you are still honored bound by that will, I would think. What do you think, Stig?
She doesn't give a damn. Cersei's big headed enough.
Well, not
to do that.
Cersei, Barristan, though. Aren't you honor bound by the last will and testament of your king?
Well, yes, but he leaves because of it, doesn't he?
Well, that comes later, but yeah,
Well,
no, he
kinda.
gets fired. He gets fired.
Yeah, yeah, he gets fired.
But in this
Yeah.
in this moment, he doesn't get a chance to do anything.
No,
Yeah.
he just sits there. You know?
But he
Yeah,
came surrounded.
Oh,
well,
that's
he,
true.
He doesn't get to read the letter, does he?
No, he's the first one to hear it.
Yeah. But,
Up
but
in the, yeah, go ahead, Teresa.
well, I think that what Steve is saying is, yeah, that does Barristan know? I mean, for all they know, it could just be some bullshit that Ned came up with.
No, it has Robert's signature and seal.
He knows.
But did
So
he see it though?
Yeah, he read it. He was Ned presented it to him in that council meeting.
Just
Let
for
me
Barristan?
Yeah, hold on one second. Let me just see that one more time. Ned entrusts Sir Barristan to read the writ naming him Protector of the Realm. So yeah, he let him see it because it names Ned as Protector of the Realm. So Sir Barristan definitely knows that this letter was written by Robert.
And that's why he hesitates when is it Joffrey that orders him to seize Ned, and he does it right then, so they're surrounded.
Yep, Cersei orders him.
Okay.
Yep. I think Joffrey just tells everybody to kill everybody. He's a little.
Yeah, I think Sir Barristan is taken a bit aback. Because it's sudden and he doesn't know what the heck's going on.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And if he had been given more time, he would have probably seized Joffrey. I don't know.
Well, he should have seized them in the first place.
Yeah. Well,
that's true. Okay, Tina, but I'm sorry to interrupt you, but Tina, is that the same when it comes to, like, look, the Martells didn't have more clout than the Targaryens. You are absolutely right in history. The female, and I think in this world too, if your family house had more clout than the family you're marrying into, the women do keep their last names. I believe I heard something about that also. But like,
yeah, they're filthy.
Evil.
The Lannisters are filthy rich, so
filthy rich and powerful, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Sometimes and when she married him, that almost the marriage of Cersei to Robert sealed the kingdom for Robert. Like, that was Tywin's like, you will marry my daughter and I will back you as king. So
yeah, because Tywin had the city at that point.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Hail Thomas. Yeah, and it just like Ned sees the gold cloaks and looks back at Littlefinger like, you're all right. Like, you did a good job. Like, what a friggin' moron, man. I still think his biggest mistake of this chapter was letting Sansa leave the room. I would have tied her up if I had to. That's his fault. She's an 11-year-old girl, and you just stole her fairy tale.
Yeah.
It's his fault that they're even still there. He's had so much time now to get them out of the city before he made any move.
You're right. What did I jump over, man? I'm sorry. You guys keep talking. I'm just looking for Toxic Man Flu's thing about this. You might have to redo it, man, because I missed it. Which would be great name for Stephen Walton's Behind the Retrospective. Oh crap. Thomas, I'm rewatching Game of Thrones season 6. Way better than season 5. I'll give you that. So,
Still, it's enormously filled with plot holes.
Oh God, it's terrible that they should have ended it after season 4. I really feel that way now. Like I can't even go back and watch the earlier seasons because I know what shit show it'll be. Littlefinger is one of the creepiest characters. He really is.
Varys is really creepy in this too.
Yes. And doesn't Varys kind of give him another little bit of a warning at one point in this one? And for Ned to say, I don't trust him and Grand Maester, but yet earlier he said he didn't trust any of them, but now he trusts Littlefinger. Like, God, you set yourself up.
He trusts Littlefinger despite the fact that he was delayed in getting the guard there when he was confronted by the Lannisters. Like that was the most obvious thing ever. And he didn't see it.
Right. Yeah, Thomas, you're right on that too. Still, I don't consider him sympathetic. I think Littlefinger is like, you understand where that drive to like never allows, he can't meet steel with steel. He has to do it his way, which is a dirty way of doing it. But
that raises another. Oh, go ahead.
What's that? No, you go.
I was just gonna say that raises another point. Ned knows about Littlefinger's obsession with Cat.
Yep.
He knows what happened between his brother and Littlefinger.
Yep.
So why would you ever in your life trust this guy? You know he's jealous. He hates you. Why would you?
Right.
So stupid.
It's like my wife's boyfriend from high school. Like, I'll help you. Come on. Like, as I'm walking away, he's smelling her hair as he walks in. Yeah, like I'm gonna trust that guy. Come
with
on.
your life.
With my wife. Yeah. Or my wife. Come on. You are oppressed, buddy. So I don't know. Sounds like a Stephen Walton chapter, a dirty way of doing it. Anything else on this? I do think Ned is officially pretty much killed his whole guard because of his honor.
Yep.
And that just drives me insane. Like these men were willing to die for him and they did because Ned had to win. It had to be right for Robert, a guy who wasn't even really your friend anymore, man. Like he wasn't the same kid you grew up with, right?
At all. And now he's dead and you're still here.
Yeah.
For what purpose? Who cares if these kids are bastards?
Right.
They're not your kids.
Right. And that's another thing. It's like your daughter, your grandkids though will be king and queens. So maybe you just let it happen. You know, Ned, just let this one go.
Come on. Let it go.
That's the other side of it, you know?
I don't
or
know.
just head back north because who cares about, the South?
Right.
You were happy where you were.
Ned is a man who rides the wave of history, not one who causes them. Thank you, Toxic Man Flu, for your great perspective.
No,
See, I didn't miss
that was
it,
a good one,
sir. It is a good one. Ned is a man who rides the wave of history, not one who causes them. He never was in charge at all. Like
Never.
It's like he's been in a lot of cars, but never driven one.
Right.
Ah.
Right. Joe Biden is. I didn't want to admit that.
About the hair smelling?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Yeah.
Yeah, Littlefinger is the hair smeller, man. Anything else for this chapter, guys?
No, just hearing the death knell for Ned. I mean, he's a dead man from this point on.
He has to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she gave him a chance. What?
And he used that opportunity when he's surrounded, when his people are surrounded. when the Lannisters are clearly in control, where you can see Cersei doesn't care. They have their king to announce that he's a bastard.
Right. What an idiot.
It's treason.
What an idiot. Like, you know, at that moment, doesn't it run through your head? Do I really have these gold cloaks? Because this does not seem right. This doesn't seem right. You know, like
she's way too confident.
He could have been king.
Yeah.
He really could have. If he played his cards right, he could have been king. At least Lord Protector. That's a tough one. And I just want to point this out.
Cersei did it well, though. She played the game. She did a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
she
Ned
really
was
did.
too dumb to live.
Yeah.
It's sad. But his honor was, it's almost a sin. It's pride. It's not honor. He prides himself so much on his honor and the idea of Ned Stark's honor that it's a sin. It's not truly honorable.
Right.
I guess. I don't know. That's at least how I see it. It's like, it's more his pride about the idea that he's honorable.
Right. Definitely some ego in there.
Yeah. Man, I love this show. Scott, you make me laugh, cry, and pop my pants. Oh. All right. That's what I do's, people. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe because I'm losing subscribers every day. Love you, YouTube. All right, we're gonna move on then. We'll move on to Arya. I think this is Arya 5, maybe 4. Arya 4. So it's Arya 4, Sansa 4, maybe. This is a good one too. So let me go dark.
It's a sad one.
It is.
Yeah, I know.
It is. It's painful. Take it in now, people. Get the tissues out. Oh, right here. Thomas already knows. Thomas already knows. Let's just leave that up for people to read. All right. Arya is training with Syrio Farrell in the small hall before they are due to board a ship for Winterfell. Syrio calls his strikes, and Arya blocks each in turn until one hits her breast from the wrong side, and Syrio says she is dead. Arya complains that Syrio cheated by lying. The swordsman says only his words lied, not his eyes or his arm, but she was not seeing. Arya insisted that she watched him every second, but Syrio declares that watching is not seeing. To illustrate his point, Syrio tells her how he became the first Sword of Bravos. Syrio explains that there were many who were stronger, faster, or younger, but he was the best because he could see the truth. After the death of the previous First Sword, many Bravos were called to the Sea Lord, and as many were sent away. Finally, Syrio was called before the Sea Lord, who had a fat yellow cat on his lap. The Sea Lord said the animal had been brought to him from a faraway land by one of his captains and asked if Syrio had ever seen her like. Syrio replied that he had seen 1,000 like him in the Alley of Bravos, and that same day Syrio was named the First Sword. Arya says she does not understand. Syrio explained that the cat was just an ordinary one, but the other men all expected a marvelous beast, so that was what they saw. In addition, the Sea Lord had called it her, and that was what the others saw, even though it was clearly a tomcat. Arya understood then, and Syrio tells her to use her senses first and her mind second. Then he declares that when they go to Winterfell, it will be time to put needle in her hand. Aw. The great wooden doors fly open to reveal 5 Lannister guardsmen and Sir Myron, I always say his name, Mirren Trent of the Kingsguard. Mirren orders Arya to come with him to see her father. Arya is about to follow when Syrio stops her and asks why Lord Eddard would send Lannister men instead of his own. Arya immediately realized the truth of Syrio's statement and picks up her stick sword. When Mirren insists he is trustworthy as a member of the Kingsguard, Arya replies that so is the Kingslayer. Dispensing with the charade, Mirren orders Arya seized. When a guard approaches Arya, Syrio stands before her. The guard orders Syrio out of the way, calling him an old man. Syrio declares his name and that they will be speaking to him with more respect. Unimpressed, a guard goes for his sword, but Syrio is faster, breaks the man's fingers with his wooden sword. Then Meryn orders the Lannister guards to attack, and Syrio instructs Arya to go to her father. As the guards attack Syrio, Arya can see that Syrio was only toying with her during their practices. By the time Arya reached the far end of the hall, Syrio is surrounded by 5 dead or dying men. Then Meryn is in his heavy plate armor, draws his sword. Syrio tells Arya to go, but she watches as the first sword lands many blows on the knight's armor before Meryn breaks Syrio's wooden sword. Arya turns and runs through the kitchen crying. As she runs, Arya thinks of everything Syrio has told her: swift as a deer, quiet as a shadow, quick as a snake, calm as still water. Fear cuts deeper than swords, strong as a bear, fierce as a wolverine. Fear cuts deeper than a sword. The man who fears losing has already lost. Fear cuts deeper than the sword. Her sword grip is slicked with sweat when she reaches the turret stairs. She wonders if she should go up or down. She then remembers Syrio telling her to do the unexpected, so she goes down to the cellar that she knows is a dead end. She climbs up to a window, out into the window to the Tower of the Hand is splintered. One of her father's guard lies dead on the stairs, and she can hear fighting. She thinks about when she heard someone say they're going to kill the Hand. Arya pretended that she was catching a cat, then realized that she is the cat and is dead if they catch her. Outside the stable, she finds Hullen lying on the ground looking dead. When she approaches him, he opens his eyes, tells her to warn her father before dying. Inside, Arya finds more dead men, including Desmond, who said he would protect her father. There is only a single Lannister body, and Arya remembers Desmond claiming that every Northman would worth 10 Southrons. Losing her temper, Arya kicks Desmond's body and calls him a liar. As Arya collects horse tack, she finds her broken chest on the ground. She gropes around for Needle. Just as her fingers touch the sword, a stable boy appears behind her with a pitchfork. She asks him to help her saddle, saying her father will reward him. The boy responds her father is dead and the queen will reward him. When he grabs her arm, Arya forgets all of Syrio's lessons, only remembers the lesson Jon taught her: stick him with the pointy end, and puts it right through the boy's belly, killing him. So she saddles and realizes the gate will be closed. And however, she must cross the open yard, and the walls are crowded with gold cloaks. Reciting Syrio's words to herself, she walks slowly across the yard to the empty royal sept, hiding Needle under the cloak as she did. The scariest thing she has ever done. Taking 2 of the candles in the sept, she crawls out the back window. It takes Arya more than an hour to find the room. Crawling through windows, over walls, and through cellars, she goes back to the light, her candles, and returns. Now the monsters do not frighten her. Neither do the rats in the dungeons. The crypt of Winterfell were scarier, and she and her siblings were once taken there by Robb to the tombs, and Jon suddenly appeared covered in flour, pretending to be a ghost, but that he had not scared her. The memory of her safe home at Winterfell makes her smile as she plunges deeper into the darkness of the tunnels. Woo! Dang, that's a good one. Sorry, that's a long one, but it had to all be said, you know?
Yeah, that was a good chapter.
It's a great chapter. Let's start. Stig, why don't you start with this one?
Well, it's almost like a thriller chapter, isn't it? Arya being in danger several times in one chapter. Syrio shows his skill with a wooden sword.
Right.
Makes you wonder what he could have done with a real one, right?
Oh, man.
I personally think he's alive, though, because...
I was going to bring that up. Where did Teresa go?
I don't know. She went poof, probably internet.
Oh, shoot. All right.
But anyway...
Hold off on that. Hold off on the Syrio part, because I'd like to talk about that a little later, but I agree with you. Go on.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off on that one. Sorry.
Yeah, Arya being told the story of a cat, which will be important later as well. A lot of cats in Bravos. Not that much depth in it, to be honest. It's very straightforward. It's the shit has hit the fan because of Ned and Catelyn being stupid, and this is the consequences, right? And it's hitting Arya in the face.
Yeah,
and she makes good use of her basically training to get out of it, and she kills the kid. I would have thought she would have a stronger reaction to that. But yeah, she doesn't.
She kind of does. You know, that one haunts her for a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, I guess so.
A little bit, but for a 9-year-old girl, she gets over it pretty quick.
Yeah.
What about you, Jayne?
There were a couple of things that stood out. The lessons having to do with sight were really interesting. I could see how that would come into play later, but also even in that scene when the Lannister guards come in, they're saying one thing, but as Pharrell shows her, they're intending something entirely different.
Right.
So that's sort of her first lesson put in practice.
Right.
When she runs away and she's in the stable, there's a moment there where she's panicked and nearly frozen, and she hears a voice. I don't think that was in the summary, but
no, it wasn't. What was that again?
She hears what she thinks is Pharrell's voice, and it's not her voice. She's not telling herself this, but because it startles her. So we have another instance of one of the children hearing someone talking to them.
Oh shoot, I missed that. Can we find that?
I
don't know if you could, but if you, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Miss Martin Muses is having internet problems. Well, I'm glad you're at least here. Oh, there she is. Boom. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Yeah, just came back on.
Oh, perfect. I'm glad. I am definitely glad. Let me try that again. I'm definitely glad.
I summoned the Red Woman, Sir Davos.
Well,
she scares the head out of me. All right. So yeah, I also, Jayne, I love the teaching that Syrio gives her at the beginning of this. I mean, he's telegraphing everything. He doesn't change how he looks or how he's moving, only what he's saying, and she misses that. And he's like, look, watch, my eyes didn't lie, my arm didn't lie, you heard, so what did he say exactly? I like the heart lies and the head plays tricks, so use your other senses. I love that line. Because it's true. The heart lies, the head plays tricks, but use your other senses. Pay attention to what's other things, not what this hand is doing, but what the other hand is doing. And I thought that was really cool. What about you, Teresa?
Quote in the chat.
Oh, you did get it? Okay,
yeah.
Can you hold off 1 second? I just wanted, Teresa, about Syrio. What did you think about that part?
Oh, yes. Well, and also the line where he said, you see, but you don't see, or I forget the exact wording. You look, but you do not see, I think was what he said. And
yes,
he could almost have been talking about Ned. That's what I was thinking of. It's like, yes, Ned looks, but he doesn't see. And Arya is learning to not fall into the trap that her father does. That she is being prepared to be a better survivor than her own father.
Yes. I mean, Ned thinking he was just gonna, amuse, just allow Arya to have this one thing is really teaching her. This guy is teaching her the greatest survival skills of her life. And yeah, another monster said it too. Jon didn't teach her that. When he asked, do you know what to do with this? She said, stick him with the pointing end. I'm pretty sure he's right on that. It was Arya who said it to Jon, but everyone always says it's Jon's lesson. So that's a good point he brought up. So I like the story because the story that Syrio tells her is, people will try to trick you. Greater, higher ranked people will try to make you believe something, see the truth. See the truth. And that's the only reason he became the first sword, is because he told the truth to the Sea Lord. The Sea Lord lied to everybody about this cat, and they all fell for, oh yeah, whatever the Sea Lord says, I'm going to agree with. Syrio is the only one that said, no, that's not the truth. I thought that was kind of interesting. Okay, so what is the line, Jayne?
Okay, so it goes, okay, she had to leave now, she told herself. But when the moment came, she was too frightened to move. Calm as still water, a small voice whispered in her ear. Arya was so startled she almost dropped her bundle. She looked around wildly, but there was no one in the stable but her and the horses and the dead men. Quiet as a shadow, she heard. Was it her own voice or Syrio's? She could not tell, yet somehow it calmed her. She stepped out of the stable.
Wow. I don't think I've ever caught that before. I never did. I never even. Could it have been one of the children, Bloodraven, someone talking to her, sending her like a message?
That's my theory. Because we also see in one of the past chapters with Bran, someone said something to him.
Right.
When they were on their hunt or whatever. It just seems like you have a lot of people, especially these children, being told things.
Right.
Didn't we talk about that on the Monday stream recently too, about another character hearing his voice, hearing his name being spoken by something.
That is yes. Is he hanging on a wall? Is it that guy?
I believe he's
Yeah.
About to burn the fucker.
What else in this chapter? This was a great chapter. I love how right, the darkness again. So she's not afraid of the darkness now.
Right.
But the darkness helps open up the third eye. I like how she thinks, not to do what Arya Stark would do. Like how would Arya Stark run? She would run. I gotta walk. Like I can't draw attention. It's almost like certain training she hasn't even had yet is coming already into her life.
Well, she's behaving like a cat. Because a cat will only run when directly attacked, right?
Right.
Otherwise, they don't give a shit. They walk normally.
I also enjoyed how we were able to go through all the different scenarios because she doesn't just make a decision. She thinks about several different choices and the pros and cons of each choice.
Right.
And all of this is flashing through her mind within seconds. She doesn't have very long to decide what she's going to do or how or which direction she's going to head.
A 9-year-old girl.
Yeah.
I mean, that's impressive.
And to decide to walk across the square.
Yeah.
When everyone is looking for her.
Right.
That's
hiding in plain sight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can we talk about Syrio without spoiling things?
Yes.
I believe so. Okay. So go ahead, Stig.
Well, later on, when there are heads on pikes of everyone who's been killed, basically, there is no Syrio.
And you would think if he took out 5 Lannister guardsmen, his head would be on a pike.
Yeah, but then again, Meryn Trant is still alive too. Right. So what the hell happened? Because he doesn't talk at all about how they killed the Swordmaster or anything. He doesn't boast about that.
Yeah, it's never brought up again. Yeah. I do love right before that where Syrio, again, Trent is in full armor, but the other guys their hands aren't covered with a gauntlet, so he breaks the guy's fingers. Their noses are open because they don't have a guard. He smashes their nose. Like he's seeing, the things he taught Arya. I would have loved to see him with a sword. I do believe.
Something has struck me though. You know those glamour spells?
Yes. Oh,
and
shit.
He says, "You will speak to me with more respect." So when Arya leaves, maybe he removes the glamour spell, and then they're
he's
like
somebody else,
somebody they know, like maybe Sir Arthur Dane or someone. I don't know.
Or the glamour spell turned him into to the knight he was fighting, because it could change your size. George has said that Syrio Forel died in that room, but he made sure to say his name. And to me, that says that person died. That character died.
Yeah.
As in Jack and Hagar, kind of.
Exactly. Like, there is no more Jackin. And I know we're going to get to that in this book, so we could talk about it. I think it's in this book, or maybe in the next book. Who cares? So who's to say that the character of, he went by a different name after that?
Right.
We may see him down the road.
Exactly.
George picks his words perfectly, and his wording on that was Syrio Forel died in that room. Not he's dead. Not responding. He's dead. Syrio Forel died in that room.
Yeah. So well, it's not certainly not an obvious death. It's one of the most obscure deaths in the.
I mean,
in the story,
it didn't happen.
It's like it's in the same alley as Benjamin Stark. Things points to him being dead fairly clearly, but then there's a lot of other things that he might not be.
Right. And who's saying he didn't come out as Trent? Just glamored himself out. Because think about it. Okay, he had a wooden sword, the last thing that Arya sees, but there's also 5 dead guys with swords, are dying. You're telling me he couldn't be, he's quick. He's not in armor. He can't be quickly move, grab one of the swords and fight that man and maybe take his place. I don't know. Or just something else, like you said, become somebody that they know.
And also, Arya left conveniently before that fight started.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I think if George wanted him to be dead without a doubt, he would have had Arya see the death. And then if he becomes Meryn Trant in a way, I don't think that's the case, because
I don't either,
because of stuff Meryn does later.
And then we have to wonder how we all wonder. Okay, I'm not going to spoil it, but I just want to. I'll kind of give a hint. We always wonder how someone got into the black cells. Why he was how did that guy get in the black cells? Well, if Syrio can get away, and Syrio died in that room, but that person gets away, maybe that's where they go. Hide where they least expect you. I don't know. I just have a feeling George's words aren't, he's being honest, but he's playing with us a little bit when he says that.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, because he does say the name, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
And also, how can we be passing this one up? The Arya part where she remembers the crypts. Once again.
Yeah.
And I would love to actually, does anybody have, you have that part open? Do you have can you read that, Jayne, that part? Because there's a lot of stuff going on. The part where Arya is talking about when Jon jumped out as a ghost.
I don't have it up, but let me see.
Right. Let me see if I can find it. Because I think that's a very important, one of those heads up from George. You know what I mean? Like,
George
is telling us something with that story.
We have the the lovely elf in the chat too.
Oh, hey!
Hey!
Yay!
Who is pushing through the books.
Yes, I did
Big
invite.
time.
I did invite the other day on it. I don't know if she responded while we were on the show. Because if you did and I didn't send you something, I'm gonna feel horrible. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like, the story. Okay, go ahead, please, Teresa.
Oh, I was just going to say, while we're waiting on that, but how badass was it to finally get to see Syrio fight? You know, we've heard him talking about fighting, and I don't know if you talked about it that while I was
No, go ahead.
internet exile, but just with a wooden sword, how badass he was. Because, you know, we've just heard him talk and puff his chest out and, you know, give all these lessons and be too harsh with Arya, but man, to see him in action, wow.
It's so impressive.
Yes.
And even Arya states like she now knows he was holding back the whole time.
Yep.
You know, I can't find it. I'm so mad right now because I know I wanted to read that. It's such a good quote. All right. Well, if we find it before the end, we'll find it before the end. While Jayne is reading the next chapter, I'll look for it.
Okay.
So anything else with the Arya chapter that you noticed other than killing her first person? I thought that was a good scene.
That was.
And then picking out somebody speaking to her, Jayne. I think that's really important. I did not realize that. Oh, look, everybody. We got the big shot Culture Casino in the chat, gracing us with his presence. He's becoming big time. I have now been here longer than Scott was on my stream. Okay, first off, you know my computer sucks. And I kept freezing up. I couldn't hear anybody because everybody else was robotic. So I got off the stream because you're too big time for me now. So I'm sorry. Hopefully you'll someday invite me back on. All right. Anything else with this chapter, guys?
No, just loads of fun to finally see Arya saving herself.
Yeah.
And using her training.
I did like that she sort of reverted to John, they call it John's training, what John told her or whatever, about the sticking them with the pointy end. So she sort of went from the more, I don't know, sophisticated form of fighting and thinking to just kill him.
Yeah, well, to me, it's almost like the primal. You know, like it's just the first lesson. You use it to kill them any way you can.
That's right.
So, yeah, I thought that. What were you gonna say?
Oh, protect yourself. Yeah. I kill or be killed. A lesson her daddy needed to learn, for crying out loud. It's driving me crazy.
Yeah.
The 9-year-old girl is doing a better job than her daddy did.
This entire time, she's been the one who's gotten it.
Yeah. And no one listens to her. That's the shittiest part. You know, he doesn't listen to her.
She's the real wolf. Sort of like Dany's the real dragon.
That's I like that.
Ooh.
I like that. That's good. Buy Sporking Boner juices. Okay. Read that out loud.
They trick you.
They get me every time. That's great. All right. So whenever you're ready, I'm going to find that while you read. Okay.
All righty. Let's move to Sansa 4. Jesus. There may be a lot of sighing as I read this.
Go for it.
Sansa is locked in a room with Jayne Poole, who does nothing but cry for her father. Sansa, thinking Jayne was acting childish, has told her friend that she would ask Queen Cersei to let her see her father, but it does not seem to have helped. Sansa herself wept the first day. She was used to the sound of fighting in Winterfell, but knowing it was real with angry shouts and the moans of dying men was different. At first, she pleaded for news and to see someone familiar, such as her father or her gallant prince, but she got no answer. Then they shoved Jayne into the room, and she claimed that they were killing everyone and that there were bodies on the steps. The next day, the fighting was over, and Lannister guardsmen patrolled the walls. The servants who bring them food and clothes refuse to answer any questions. At sunset, they heard the bells tolling from the great sept of Baelor, proclaiming King Robert's death. Sansa is afraid for her beautiful prince and her father, and at night she dreams of Joffrey on the throne with her beside him, with everyone she knows coming before them to bend their knee.
Bye.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Sir Boros Blount comes for her on the third day. Resolved to be a lady no matter what, Sansa compliments the ugly knight. He leads her out of Maegor's holdfast, where she sees a body impaled on the spikes of the dry moat. Rather than being taken to the queen's apartments, Sansa is brought to the council chamber and presented to Queen Cersei and the small council, though her prince is not there as she was hoping. The queen asks if she has been well taken care of, and Sansa affirms that they have, though no one will tell them what happened. Sansa's use of the word us leads to confusion until Sansa explains that Jayne is staying with her. Cersei is surprised to discover that Jayne has been put in with Sansa and expresses concern about what absurd tales Jayne might have told Sansa. Remembering her promise, Sansa asks about Valya and Poole, unable to imagine anyone killing a steward who does not even carry a sword. Cersei asks what to do with Jayne, and Littlefinger states that he will find a place for her. The queen then instructs that Jayne be taken to Littlefinger's apartments, and that saying Littlefinger will take her to her father should calm her down. Sansa asks where Valyan is and where Jayne is being sent, wondering why Littlefinger must be involved, but Cersei brushes off the question. Cersei tells Sansa that Joffrey loves her, but that her father is a traitor. Varys and Pycelle explain that Lord Eddard, who had sworn to protect King Robert's children, was planning to turn the kingdom over to Stannis Baratheon. Then Cersei shows Sansa the letter her father wrote to Stannis, which had been taken off the captain of his guard. Sansa insists that it cannot be true because her father was the king's friend. Cersei informs Sansa that she cannot allow the daughter of a traitor to marry her son. Sansa is overwhelmed by the unfairness of taking away her beloved because of something her father did. Cersei states that she knew Sansa was innocent from the moment Sansa came to her with Lord Eddard's plan to take her away.
I hate her so much.
So much. Sansa insists that she did this because she loves Joffrey, remembering that she felt very wicked sneaking away to the queen. She had wanted to go to the king, but loud and often drunk King Robert had always frightened her. She had also believed that the king would probably just have sent her back to her father. After having formed the queen of her father's plans, Sansa was locked in the high room in Maegor's holdfast under guard. A few hours later, the fighting had started. The small council discusses whether Sansa could also turn out to be a traitor. Varys and Grandmaster Pycelle opine that the child of a traitor is also likely to become one. Littlefinger points out that Sansa reminds him of her mother rather than her father. Queen Cersei expresses doubt that Sansa can be trusted since her sister turned her wolf on Joffrey. Sansa replies that she is nothing like her traitor sister. She only wants to be Joffrey's wife. Queen Cersei then suggests that if the rest of Sansa's kin prove loyal, it would rest some of the council's fears. Therefore, Cersei asks that Sansa write to her lady mother and her brother Robb, explaining how Lord Eddard betrayed his king. Sansa does not know what to say, but Cersei assures her that they will provide her the words. The important thing is that the Starks keep the king's peace. Otherwise, it will go hard on them and on Sansa. Sansa is also told to write that she has been well cared for and that her family must come to King's Landing and pledge fealty to Joffrey. Sansa asks to see her father, but is told that if she is truly loyal, she should not want to see him. Sansa says she's concerned about him and what will happen to him. She's told that her father is well and that the king will decide his punishment. Sansa realizes that the king is now her gallant Joffrey.
Oh my God.
whom she knows would never hurt her father and who is sure to listen to her pleas. Perhaps her father will only be exiled for a few years. However, if her mother or Rob did something treasonous, it will all go wrong. Sansa agrees to write the letter and ends up writing 4 to her mother, to her brother Rob, her aunt Liza, and her grandfather Hoster Tully. When she returns to her room, Jayne and her belongings are already gone. It is only when she is drifting off to sleep that night that Sansa realizes she's forgotten to ask about Arya.
What a bitch.
I hate her.
I hate her so much. And poor Jayne. Jayne is the saddest character in this whole freaking saga.
Isn't it interesting that Jayne was crying in a pool?
She's crying, and it's not even her freaking family. And Sansa just, I tried. I really did try.
Jayne was walked through
she
all
saw
of the chaos and the murder. She sees clearly the Stark men too being slaughtered in the streets and the bodies everywhere, and it's the Lannisters doing it, and she's trying to tell Sansa and she just won't listen.
Yeah,
she's horrible. She
because
is so.
Her Prince Joffrey's, he'll listen.
We find out this could have worked, Teresa, if she never was allowed to go to them to tell. Like Ned always lets her run off. If Ned didn't do that, I don't know.
Yeah, well, and it's showing how dangerous Sansa is. Like, there's nothing more dangerous than a little bratty 11-year-old who, look at how many people she may have gotten killed by being a spoiled little brat.
Yeah, she takes after her mother.
Yeah, I mean, to ever think her father, the most honorable guy in the kingdom, is a traitor. And just to believe, like, I understand she grew up with Ned Stark, honorable people around her that she was taught to believe adults, and Ned didn't give her enough information. He kept his daughters in the dark like a moron. But Arya wouldn't have fallen for that.
No.
Arya would never have written these, but she's so obsessed with becoming the queen and having the songs and living the fairy tale that she would condemn her whole goddamn family.
Literally, people are dying, and she's thinking about everyone she knows bowing to her.
Right.
Like,
right.
Who? Oh, God.
Which is why her wolf is gone, because she's not a Stark. She's a twat.
Yeah. And she's like, she's mean to Jayne. Like, Jayne just saw slaughter, like you said, or Jayne. Jayne Poole saw slaughter, like you just said, and she's being mean to her because she's crying. Like,
she's so childish.
Oh my God.
Are you serious?
Here's the thing. Is Sansa really, truly aware that people are being slaughtered? Because she's not acting reasonable. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like, is she not believing that people are dying? I mean, what the hell?
She says she hears it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then that's what's messed up.
I tried to believe, is she in shock? Is she this? Is she that? I can't even believe that. I just believe she is the worst. Her and her mother are the two worst characters, because Sansa is the most selfish character in the book of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Would you agree if I said she's a narcissist?
Yes.
Because she's completely concerned about herself.
That's it.
Even if people are dying, she doesn't even react. And she doesn't even think about her little sister. She's all about, how will this affect me?
Just because my father's a traitor, just because he's a traitor, I still should be able to marry the king.
Like, is she that naive, or just that delusional? Like, I don't.
No, she's delusional, but
even if your father is a traitor, you stand with House Stark.
You are Stark.
Yeah. Well, and how she love her father?
No.
Apparently not.
She's actually a bit
Apparently
more
not.
likable in the show.
Yes.
I just can't get over it because I'm just like, okay, let's go with this theory that the Starks are taking over the city.
Mm-hmm.
Aren't you on the team of your family?
Right. She's
and
not.
that moment, then okay, if my father is against you, then I'm against you too.
Mm-hmm.
We're all against you. It's like I don't
Like-
understand what she's thinking.
Toxic Man Flu put it perfectly. It's like the Joker and Harley Quinn, Sansa and Joffrey. Like, she doesn't see the evil in anything happening. She just listens. And then to actually write the letter,
Write it.
to write four letters, like Arya, let's just say Arya, a 9-year-old would never, they would have killed her because she would not have done
They
it.
would have had to have killed her.
You
And
know?
she would have killed at least one of them in the process.
I'm shocked she wasn't like, okay, devil's advocate, Tina. I know. Are we judging an 11-year-old girl too harshly? No.
I don't think so.
I
remember when I was 11, I had better sense than this.
I tried. Like, I tried to think, okay, this girl was raised by the Starks. You know, she can't see the evil in Cersei. I could understand that. She believes Cersei to be like a loving queen mother. I believe that too. But you know, your family's getting butchered right now.
Well,
And to believe that your dad's a traitor, that to me, I don't care if your dad is a traitor or not. Team Stark all the way.
well, she should remember that Cersei had her wolf killed.
Right.
That's not
Smart.
that alone should be
Right.
like a ding, ding, ding. You shouldn't
Right.
trust this lady because she is a bitch.
Right.
Um,
Like, she didn't even think twice.
How do you forgive her after that?
And
I would kill anyone who killed my dog.
and you know, to be fair, Sansa is 11, but Arya's 9, and she gets it.
That's
Yep.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
So
Lady Toriel says it too really well. They need to, the need to be accepted and live the dream of songs is all she sees. That's it. She wants to be. It's all about the songs and the poems, and she believes all that crap.
But it's more than that because in the very beginning, when she hears people dying outside her door that night or whatever, she thinks about everyone she knows bowing to her. So
Yeah.
it's more than just being a princess. It's
Right. It was the power.
everyone below you. It's the power.
Right. And that's kind of going with this question from Star Wars. Quick Clips. Definitely check him out. How old is Sansa at this time? She is, I believe she's still 11, maybe 12. I think Joffrey the Heir just frightened her too much in her blindness to be queen. He didn't frighten her. No. This is
Not
her
yet.
want. This is, yeah, it hasn't happened yet. She still believes he's like this beautiful prince and he's sweet and loving, and Cersei's a mother, and you know, she'd rather be part of that family, you know, than her
too, that he loves her. So
Mhm.
she's telling her everything she wants to hear. And you're right, she wants to be a part of this family.
Right.
She doesn't want to be a
you know, a narcissist will always put a person with more clout on a pedestal
Right.
until they surpass the person.
Right.
Which is, I mean, she has narcissistic tendencies. I'm
Yeah.
sorry to say, but
Just the part where she's telling Jayne, though, I know we've already said it. Quit crying. You've seen and heard all these people dying. I mean, my gosh, that's messed up.
That's
yeah,
one of my
it's her people, not Jayne's.
right. Well,
And
she knew them, but yeah, you're right. They're her people.
I'm pretty sure Jayne crying is put there deliberately by George Martin to show off the contrast between the two girls.
But I mean, they are her
that's
people.
that.
Jayne is from a family that's sworn to the Starks, right? So
yeah.
And her father, she thinks her father's been killed.
Yeah.
So these are her people. She's a Stark person.
And all she's thinking, and I love how Tina's like, I was just playing devil's advocate. This is one of those heated discussions where it's like politics. Like if someone's like, I like Sansa, it's like, you are an idiot. You know, like people just get so angry. But it's one of those things where you put it perfectly, Jayne. Sansa was thinking about people kneeling before her. And Jayne, her best friend, just went through one of the most traumatic things so far in Jayne's life that she's ever seen. And Sansa can care less if her dad's alive or dead. You know, like she doesn't. I just want to check on him and see if he's all right. No, you can't. Oh, okay. I'll write the letters then. You know,
She was.
No,
I'm so
I want
done.
to be queen.
That's it.
You know, Cersei plays with her that whole, well, you can't, I just can't trust you. You can't marry my son. No, but I love Joffrey.
Would you
Much.
agree if I'd say that there's more Cersei in Sansa than Stark?
Ooh.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, they've been there for quite a while now, and she believes Cersei is her queen mother, and she's gonna, do the right thing for her. They played her like a violin.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if Sansa's like this at 11,
yeah,
I can certainly see her growing up to be a kind of like Cersei.
Worse, maybe.
Wow.
Oh, if she became queen, she would be terrible.
Oh,
yeah.
Just imagine.
She would be terrible. She would probably be worse than Joffrey.
Yeah. She loves the power. Lemon cakes and beheadings today. Yay.
She'd be grossly fat. She'd eat lemon cake all the damn time.
So wrong.
She'd be sitting on the toilet, knitting stuff, and pooping her guts out.
Oh my gosh, what an image.
Oh, I couldn't find my book or that quote. We'll have to go over it maybe next week. I'll find it because the quote with the crypts, I think, is a really important one. Arya remembers, Jon being the ghost and how everybody reacts. Sansa just runs away.
Yeah.
Like she leaves her Stark family to be killed by the ghost.
Yeah.
She did it again. You know what I mean? Like there's so much in that quote.
Yeah.
There's so much going on. Gesundheit. There's so much going on in that quote.
I hate her so much.
I can't stand her. I can't stand her.
Now I'll be curious in the books
Mm-hmm.
if my opinion will change of her as she gets older, because I know what happens in the movie, in the TV show. But will I change my opinion in the later books? That's a rhetorical question.
Yeah, no, I get you. I get you. I'll say, has yours changed, Jayne, at all? I'll answer for myself.
A little bit.
Not much, right?
A very, very little bit based on where she is right now.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
She just got there.
Right. And she's already making mistakes.
Right.
I will see how that goes when The Winds of Winter comes out. But as of right now in Game of Thrones, I can't stand her or her mother. I like Cersei more because at least she does shit right.
Cat never redeems herself.
I fucking can't stand her. Oh my God. I hate them both. I got nothing else. I just, this chapter is one of those chapters. It's like her and Ned and it's really her, Ned, and Cat throughout this whole book just anger me. And then you have Arya and Jon just doing all the right stuff, and Dany too. Like,
even Bran.
Yeah.
And despite their families, like in Arya's case, she's trying. She's telling people.
She's a Stark. She's a Stark.
She is a Stark.
And as
she's a wolf.
Arya is consistently awesome throughout the whole damn show. Oh, sorry, series. And,
they didn't do her justice in the show.
No, but it's Arya and I guess Tyrion are consistently awesome. Every damn chapter with those characters are they're always good.
Yeah, they're great chapters.
Yeah.
I mean, Arya's just gets better.
Yeah.
Arya's chapters just get better from here.
And
She's
it's very natural too. Like
Mhm.
it's an evolution. You see little bits of her of what we'll see later.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It just occurs very natural. I love it. She's a strong girl.
Yep.
And this is how you do a strong female character too.
Mhm.
She makes mistakes. She thinks about things. She grows. She learns. She trains. She has her moments of weakness. It's just really good and relatable.
Right. Yeah, I like how you put that. It is an evolution. And it's a 9-year-old girl that is a strong female character. It's
Mhm.
also Dany, who's a 13-year-old girl who's
Yeah.
a strong female character. And people are calling, George sexist now, and it's just
Ugh.
not
It's so
it's just not true.
Did you,
I read the books.
Right.
Arya in a way is a bit like a Newt in Aliens, because
Yeah.
she is adapting all the time and constantly learning.
Right.
Mhm.
She's self-reliant.
Yeah. I like that. That's a good way of putting it. I like that. All right. Well, anybody have anything with the 3 chapters? Any last words?
Just what a disaster. What
Right.
an absolute
Ugh.
cluster cluck.
Yep. Could I could say one thing from last week to this week. I think it was a Ned chapter that John chapter that goes into this week's Ned chapter. And again, George does something really cool. In the John chapter, John is about to blow up on everyone, and Sam stops him and speaks some sense into him. Like, oh, you're going to be trained as Lord Commander. When Sansa loses it and runs, Ned should have done the Sam thing and grabbed her and been like, this is what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like he shows chapter by chapter little differences that change the whole story of that person's life. Unbelievable how he writes. I love it. I love it.
It's true in life though, because it's not the big decisions basically that change your life. It's a series of small ones.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They add up.
profound.
I'm always right.
You are.
Damn it.
I like what Tina says here. Arya matures where Sansa just moves from plotline to plotline.
Mm.
And almost pawn to pawn to pawn.
Mm.
Yeah. Arya is a character, Sansa's a twat.
Well, I want to be a little bit fair to the portrayal of Arya in the TV show. I think that they started off doing a good job with her.
Right.
But just like everything else, it went to hell in a handbasket.
Once they passed George's storyline for her, they just didn't know what to do with her.
They just turned her into a plot armor.
Oh my God. I mean, just like, I don't even know who she was. She was like a robot. Like, I'll spoil the show because I don't care about the show. Oh no, I'll hold off.
Nah. Well, I mean, she became a Mary Sue with plot armor. Right. Even, I mean, actually, some of the worst plot armor I've ever seen in my entire life.
And fewer lines. Like, she didn't have dialogue. It was like a lot of looking and staring and
and a bag of faces.
Mm-hmm. Those eyes, those faces.
Eyes. Yes, I love it. I love it. Thank you, Tina. I thought it was pretty good too. All right, guys, let's wrap it up. So thank you everybody for coming tonight. That was fun. That was I love doing these. Yeah. Yeah, that was an hour and 33 minutes. We're pretty impressive tonight.
We're nearing the end of the book too.
I know. We'll get to move on to the next book. Yeah, this is where we get into the good stuff, I think, Stig. The thick of it.
Well, once you reread stuff, it becomes apparent that the boring chapters in the early books are actually pretty damn important.
So important.
Because that's where you discover new things.
Right. And it's not even just that the boring chapters are important for this book. They're important for the books to follow, like even more so. And we've been noticing that a lot. So yeah, I like that, Stig. Because now this is where everything culminates, but yet some of the stuff that happened in the earlier chapters doesn't affect people till the next book or the book after.
Mm-hmm.
So and a lot of the stuff that's been set up in book 1. We don't even get a conclusion to it until book 4 or 5, and some not even yet. It's still up for grabs in book 6.
Right.
But I think some of the stuff you can foreshadow though, or rather predict. But yeah, it's the devil is in the detail, and George Martin is a big damn devil.
He is the devil, man. It is fantastic. Once again, everybody, thank you for coming out tonight. We're going to start with our outros. If Miss Martin Muses like to tell them where they can find you.
Oh, you can find me on Twitter, Teresa2_Martin, and Miss Martin Muses on YouTube, where I muse on lots of things, movie, TV, books, and currently Once Upon a Time, revisiting that. So come and say hi.
That's cool. Thank you again for stopping in. We'll see you next week, I hope.
Thank you.
Yep. Jayne, do your thing.
Yeah, hey guys. You can find me here on YouTube, where I post weekly movie and television reviews every Sunday at 6 Central, as well as occasionally some pop culture news and commentary. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram at Jayne Theory.
Thank you, Jayne. Stig?
Yeah, just not much of a YouTuber at all. I don't even try to be. I sometimes make videos though. So if you want to watch some of my weird things, it's it's on my channel, and I also get away with putting up cartoon shows and stuff that I shouldn't be allowed to do, but I get away with it. So there's He-Man there. There's I think Transformers, Brave Star, maybe some Thundercats. I can't remember.
Oh, I love Thundercats.
Yeah, so if you like that, go to my channel and watch it, and then just, I don't know, go to somewhere else and watch the rest.
Even the algorithm is fooled by his accent.
Yes.
Exactly. That's a good way of putting it. And yeah, thank you everybody in the chat. Tina, the Time Prophet, Claudia, Star Wars Quick Clips, Another Monster, Brutal Morningwood, Toxic Man Flu, Tommy. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you, McKinney. Another Monster. Once again, thank you for putting stuff up there. If I'm missing anybody, I am sorry. Culture Casino, thank you for gracing us with your presence, sir. Big time culture now. Let's get him over 1,000, everybody. He's getting close. And everybody else that stopped by. Thank you, Karen, for not hitting a dislike on this one. And make sure you guys. Yeah,
Karen had to work tonight.
She did have to work today, but she's going to talk to my manager. Make sure you check us out Saturday night. Rogue Entertainment. I was looking at your name. Rogue Entertainment will be on this channel at 7 p.m. Eastern time, where we will be discussing whatever is up in our fandom right at this moment, and maybe some other things. And I hope you all have a good night. Remember, freedom ain't free, everybody.
Nope.
Take care of